Hi, I'm Ronnie Ciago, and you're watching the Ronnie Ciago Show. Marco Minnemann, thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great having you. So we actually met, I don't know how long this was, but you were playing with Mike Keneally.
That's right.
And my longtime friend, bass player Doug Lunn, which I've played with off and on for almost 20 years.
Me too,
yeah?
He passed away. We were just talking about this actually with the group of people. That was the name I was looking for. Doug Lunn, your friend, actually. I was looking for that name. Yeah.
Okay.
Bless him. Yeah.
I met you through Doug Lunn, and you were doing the show with Mike Keneally. It was in Onchanty, I think, somewhere. It was at a club. But not a club, it was a venue.
It was probably in San Pedro, maybe, wasn't it?
San Pedro. I don't
It
know.
could be the Rosaline Elvis. Maybe
Oh, you know what? I think so.
that could be.
That was it. And Doug also was the bass player with, and he's known Terry Bozzio for many years, and they go way back. So that's how we met. We were also in the band together with John Goodsall from Brand X, and this was our band. We were called the Blue Thunder.
Wow.
And we used to play every week. We were a house band, and we would play, and then we'd have people sit in. It was Formosa Beach. Yeah, Formosa Beach.
Yeah.
And singing Paul Williams
Oh, wow.
from Alan Holdsworth.
Alan Holdsworth, Metal Fatigue, isn't he on Metal
Yeah.
Fatigue, right? Amazing. Yeah, that's a great album.
So that was our band, and yeah, we used to do songs from that record.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, 'cause I had a, of course, our friend Chad Wackman.
Yeah.
I had a couple. He was and that was not easy.
Yeah.
Your band of Aristocrats for how long?
Well, we've been together now for 14
Whoa.
years, believe it or not, right? Time
I'm
flies
saying, who
by.
is this new band? No.
It still feels like yesterday, you know. It's like it doesn't feel actually that dated. So
That's good.
hope it's keeping up, you know.
It's
holding
always
up.
new, right?
Yeah.
When you play in that level of musicianship, there's no barriers. Anything goes.
Yeah, you kind of, you know, start doing every record you look forward to pushing the boundaries, or maybe not even pushing the boundaries, but kind of going into different directions, and we just take joy in doing that. You know?
Let's make this one a little bit understood by the normal ear. And I don't want to do that. You're touring the world. How many times?
We're on the world tour right now for our new album, Duck, which is called literally Duck. And we started last year in the United States or Canada. Then this year we played, check us out, this is actually good, because I just got off that tour leg. We started in Australia, China, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, did I say that already? And then India, and then the Caribbean, and then another US leg. Now we're on a little break, and that's why I'm here.
Wow.
And then in August we're going to South America, and after that Europe. And then there's the next album. What we do, isn't it?
That's what we do. Yeah.
You know, don't act so surprised. You know exactly how
Yeah,
it feels like.
exactly. And we love it because we get to meet new people.
Exactly.
I've never been to India. I'm sure that's
Quite an experience.
such.
This is a good thing. I think what you just said really kind of states the beautiful or the beauty of touring, because when you are with a band, you have followers, so fans come to see you.
Yes.
And then the promoters, the local promoters, try to show you the best restaurants, the coolest things in town. That's a blessing to have.
Right.
And you need this, especially in circle countries like India, for example, which I think is a great place to play, great place to hang. And if you've never been, go. It's never too late for that.
Because I've been so interested in that kind of music, and I saw you were jamming with I don't know who she was, but you were singing the syllables, and I studied all that, and studied tabla, and it's just, and that makes our drumming different. Yeah. We can experiment on different patterns and different rhythms to think in India for their rhythms and Trilok
Gurtu, exactly. Yeah, he's a good guy. I also played a few shows with Karuna Murthy. He's like a fantastic tabla player. And many things I could start geeking out about that, but I don't know, we'll break the time limit here a bit.
and tabla, there's two drums. It's the most difficult instrument to play. It's like sitar, but the beats go over the bar line and then they keep moving over and then they finally get back to the one.
Yeah, oh yeah. We should give some examples at some point, yeah. I would be I'd be happy to share some of that.
And okay, so tell me about Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, my German fellow.
Right? Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. Well, Hans is working with my guitar player Guthrie. So Guthrie is in his live band. I've known Hans now, meanwhile, for a decade or so.
So the people who don't know who that is.
That is a very famous movie composer. I think maybe one of the top. I did a thing with him recently. I'm not even sure what was being used of it, because it's such a big operation that there are so many musicians, arrangers involved. Yeah. And most of the time you don't even get mentioned in the credits, which is fine. Everybody's aware of that. But I think on the F1 movie, fast hi-hat beats and all kinds of stuff on some drums, might be me.
And it's probably going to,
a bit of it, at least.
And it's probably going to sound incredible because now in the movie theaters they're able to surround sounds.
The one thing he said, which really was cool, because the movie is about race cars, and so we were kind of going forth and back about what kind of drums to use, and he goes like, man, those race cars, because I asked him, do you want more like a metal snare, more high-tuned toms or things like that? Or do you want to have more rich bass or something? He was like, oh, good point. He goes, those race cars are effing loud. He goes, we need to like a lot of rims and probably kind of, metal snare drums. And then he goes, man, I really like this groove you played there. I mean, just as an idea, you don't have to do it. That's kind of his style. You don't have to do it, mate. I have no idea. What do you think? That's the way how he kind of brings the best out of you by kind of giving you little suggestions. Yeah. And he says, like, how about you play a second hi-hat? Because in the movie theaters, you want to have the stereo image. So how about doubling the height in certain parts?
Oh, yeah.
And how about playing a drum part that is like the regular tempo, and then you kind of modulate the other drum thing, because that's one of these things I'm kind of known for here and there.
Yeah.
And you overtake basically a beat like a race car. So things like that. So we're going forth and back and doing these little suggestions and playing stuff. So I spent time recording a lot of material and writing any material on the drums. And I also delivered some riffs and piano things. I don't think they were being used. It was more about the drumming. I guess.
Where did you record that?
I recorded it at home.
At home.
He liked the sound from my home studio.
Okay, and you send it to him, and they do whatever they process it and things.
Oh, that's the one he saw always live and on YouTube. He goes, I really like the sound of your room.
Oh yeah.
So like, should I come to your studio? No, record something that room sounds nice. I was like, okay. So I recorded it. He goes like, the recordings. Let's keep working on that. So we were actually capable to do literally one thing when he was actually somewhere in on vacation in Italy somewhere and in the south, and we went forth and back and called and did video calls, and that's the beauty of these days, that you can record everywhere you want.
That's amazing, right? He's done so many movies.
Yeah.
Can you name a few?
Interstellar, for these kind of things. He did Batman, like all of that. James Bond, even.
Yeah.
Right? And now, well, obviously the new movie F1. I've been working on that movie already for 5 years. I think the pandemic already started, and going at it for like years. And as far as I was told, it was the most expensive movie ever made, and Apple is involved, and I learned a lot about race cars.
Was it filmed in Italy or?
You know what? I don't know the locations where it was really filmed. All I know, it was like Mercedes built literally a race car for that movie. Only building the race car was already $20 million or something like that. And then the each tire is like $250,000 of that race car, because they had to get it road ready. And so I learned a lot about these things. On the racetrack, for example, you can only go a certain amount of speed, otherwise they roll off the racetrack. The other thing, what I learned was, when the race car driver gains only a few pounds, they lose a few seconds.
Wow.
So they have to stay exactly in the chase. So it's completely nuts, man, what I learned about that. And again, I hope, some of my stuff, it's ending up in that movie. I got paid, so that's good. But no, but it was absolute pleasure working with Hans. He's a lovely guy, and I'm also working with his wonderful cellist, Mariko Muranaka. Sorry. And she's on a lot of the songs from for my new record. I play also for her new album, and we have already a very good relationship for over 2 years now. And
nice.
Yeah, she's on a bunch of my new releases as well. So the whole Hans Zimmer group, sort of with Aristocrats together, interacts.
Wow, that's great news. I really like your setup. I was watching your drum setup. You kind of have it switched. You have your toms, your high one on the opposite side. And I like that.
Yeah, 10, 12, 8, and then 16, 18. The reason I was doing that was because mainly I like the bigger tom. So my radius, it was this way. I learned to play ambidextrous pretty much at a young age, because I was an organ player before. So I started to play foot bass, multiple, executions, all the paradiddle kind of things or whatnot. But I would play basically literally combinations on my foot bass. And then I had like here the chord hand, maybe there the melody hand. And when I started to play drums, I thought I would convert this to the drum set. So I put like a hi-hat over here, another hi-hat over there, another hi-hat over here, a gong drum over here, so I could execute hi-hat stuff with my feet, which I still do. And then use this as a kick drum replacement. And then I wrote a bunch of books and made DVDs about exactly that independence concept. And so the 8-inch one really serves more as an additional kind of rhythm. But, I feel really free playing that way and not having to reach out here too much. So that's why there's like snare drum 10, 12, 16, 18.
So I noticed later on when Billy Cobham was playing, I started seeing that kind of open.
Look, I think many people already did these kind of things. I learned from my big influences. Billy was even way before, wasn't he? So I probably started, the first guys I really saw.
Yeah.
No, I love all of these players. But my first big influences, especially for the independence part, was Terry Bozzio, obviously. He was the first one really, to my knowledge, doing freeing like all the limb independence. And then Gary Chester, he was doing that already in his book, The New Breed, which I thought was fantastic. So there was for me no way around these players. I was like, with great enthusiasm watching what all of these wonderful guys were doing. And obviously there's no way around Buddy Rich, as we all know, right? Look, you guys did already all cool shit, before I was even playing drums, So it's a pleasure to be here, and talking with you about it.
They invented this stuff. It wasn't like they saw somebody else do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Stereo pose, especially Terry. How do you come up? How many drums did he have on that? Like 36. But there wasn't. It was a reason for that. This tone was here, and everything was toned. There's octapads, octadrums, and how many cymbals does he have? I heard when he did a clinic, it took like 2 days for them to set it up.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing with Terry was I did 2 tours with him together with Chad Wackerman as a trio.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
that's actually, here's a funny story about that. So so many.
That's a DVD or something. You can buy it.
Yeah, I think there's footage definitely out there somewhere, and you can watch it on YouTube. I was concerned already. It's like, oh man, I have a fairly big drum kit, with all my hi-hats there, and the gong drum and this and that. And then Terry set up his kit with like 52 cymbals, which was great. And then Chad had like even a fairly big drum kit. And I never forget the first show we ever did. I was kind of ready to go out for sound check and kind of see, how far the setup is. I just walk on stage and there were like drums everywhere. Terry, Chad, and Mike. I was just like walking straight back to the backstage and having a Coke or something, or orange juice, and then came back later. But the surprising thing about Terry's setup, it almost was the most easy to set up because he by that time really mastered the economy of the drum kit with his drum tech. So he had pretty much all those cymbals you see and all those toms, they were basically on stacked on racks. So you could literally take it like a keyboard, like, the middle octave or the high octave or the low octave, and go like, well, here are 10 toms, boom, or yeah, there's the other ones, and here are like 50 cymbals over there, and they just kind of the same with their own cases, road cases, and whoop, and then set it up like Lego.
Yeah, the mapping goes, well, this goes here and this is.
So it was like kind of surprisingly economic.
That's amazing. That's interesting. Now, I wanted to talk about your dad. He did support you very much.
Very, my parents, without my parents, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with you now. Because at a very early age, I was introduced already to all those cool albums. And my father had one of the biggest record collections I've ever seen, 10,000 albums and counting.
I think I saw a photo of all of the stacks of records. So you heard every kind of style of music.
All kinds of stuff, and I could pick and choose what I really liked. And I went to rock shows and jazz shows at a very young age because my father took me. So I got to see, literally, I think my first rock concert was Queen with Freddie Mercury. I saw them twice with Freddie. And then later on with Adam Lambert when Brian May invited us over, because now, meanwhile, I know even Brian May, which is, for me, like, oh my God, idols, so I saw the Stones on the Still Live tour. Then I saw Jethro Tull multiple times. We became also dear friends over the years. And they never ceased to exist to be idols. They're always still idols. It's like one of those things. Everybody I look up to, I still do.
I'm glad you brought up Jethro Tull, because as far as Prague, I grew up with that.
Yeah.
From the album This Was,
Oh, man.
all the way, and then Thick as a Brick came out, and a Passion Play. I think I was the only one in my, my friends and things, they didn't understand that music.
Yeah, the Passion Play. Meanwhile, a Passion Play is a cult record. Now it really gets the love it deserves, it feels. And Barry Morballo is a great drummer. Amazing drummer.
Yeah. Aqualung and all those records.
Aqualung was Clive Bunker.
What happened to Clive Bunker? Man, he said all those Stand Up, Benefit.
Right. Some of the classic ones. Man, Barry, Songs from the Wood, for example. Wow, what a drum track on that song. Still holds a sense of testimony.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was my favorite. I've never met Ian Anderson, but I will through you.
Yeah, I know Ian for.
Where is he living? I know he has farms and things. And
yeah, he has he's a English fella, and he came to one of our shows with Stephen Wilson. I remember that. And then I met him at one of his shows because we were talking about doing something together at some point. But then touring schedules sort of collided a bit, But yeah, we're in touch. And Don Perry, my best friends, family and stuff. He's one of the reasons why I actually literally moved to the United States. We became friends already when I was living in Germany. I was just a boy, and we met, and he kind of reached out to me because I left a CD at the merch booth, And he was so kind to reach out to me and go like, what are you doing? This is fantastic, and blah, blah, blah. Him and Steve Smith from Journey at the time were the first ones really kind of promoting that young kid from Germany and
excellent.
spreading the name, around, and that was actually very sweet. And Simon Phillips too. So I always have to thank.
And they were living in the valley over there, or they were living like in the valley over Thousand Oaks?
Woodland
Hills, that's right. They had the little community together with Greg Bissonette.
That's right. The drum club.
And Myron Gernbacher
and the other great drummer who passed away,
Mark Craney.
Mark Craney
Was a friend of mine as well.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
As a matter of fact, when I first came out and I was doing a session in Record One.
Yeah.
Do you know that studio?
Oh, man.
Yeah, and Steve Perry did his solo record there. And I said, well, I'm singing on Steve Perry's microphone that you can see it. It's on the video. Actually, Mark had his double bass Gretsch kit, yellow, like Tony Williams. Right. Double bass, 12-inch 22.
Right.
And all the toms and everything. And the manager, because I met Mark Craney at a clinic, and we became friends ever since. Yeah. And he said, I was going to move out there, and I'm doing this record, and the manager wants to buy the drum set. And he bought it for me.
Oh, wow.
So I kept it after that, and then after that ended, I kept it for like another 2 years. And I said, well, and then he only wanted like, just buy it from me. It's like $1,200. I didn't have the money. I said, you have to take it back. Yeah. I didn't have $1,200. Now it would be worth to 20,000. Plus it was Mark's. I think he might have played that record, that set with Tull as well.
That could be. There's one of his original kits. I think his first drum set is in North or South Dakota, where it is from?
I think it was from North Dakota. I'm not exactly sure.
And there was like this drum store, and I did a clinic there once, and his drum set was there. And they said it was one of his early drum kits he used with Tower of Power or something like that. And I was like, oh.
Did you know Mark?
I did not. I spoke with him once over the phone, and it was at Don Perry's house. And Mark, by that time, was already very ill and very sick, exactly. And so we had a conversation, and we were planning on meeting, and that unfortunately never happened. So that's unfortunate. But he left a fantastic legacy, I think, behind.
Still, yeah,
great. I listened to his stuff on the Tull album A, which is fantastic.
I saw that tour.
Oh wow!
I went to see they were playing at Madison Square Garden.
Oh man, yeah.
And the A tour. I still have the program somewhere, cool. And I had the program. I'll have to show it to you when I find it. Your drum videos, DVDs. I have them written down. You ready for this one?
Good.
Okay, we have the drum books.
Yeah.
Extreme Drumming.
Yeah. Extreme Interdependence was the first drum book.
Extreme, and they're kind of a set, right? And then Extreme Independence.
Yeah. It was
Drumming Beyond Independence.
Yeah, it was. Okay, here's the thing. I give the breakdown a little bit, because when I started that whole extreme independence concept, I was just really doing that because of my organ, background, and then kind of brought it to the drum set and tried out new things, like how does a paradiddle between hi-hats sound? And, and so once I heard these things, then I had in my head, I heard, apart from Terry Bozzio, I haven't heard that really before, but I came up with other things then as well. I thought like, how about a rhythm EQ with the feet and stuff like that? And as soon as it worked, I was like, that was bigger than money for me. I wanted to just go out to the world and kind of, present it and go like, yeah, check this out. I hope they like it. And so I kind of started playing it live, and I was really scared. I thought like, oh my God, I hope, they don't think it sounds shit.
You have to throw yourself out there, but you had an idea,
It succeeded, and that was obviously very humbling to me. And the thing is, then Warner Brothers contacted me and says, would you like to do a book about this and a DVD?
So, and about the compression of the snare drum, how I get the sound of the snare drum on that one. I want to have the full tone, the full overtone of the snare drum without losing the punch. So what I'm going to do is, usually I talk about pulling back your drumstick from the drum head, so you won't destroy it, and so you have the full tone of the shell, like you would do it on the toms. I want to hear the full tone, the full body of the instruments. Plus, the harder you hit the instrument and keep digging the stick into the drum head, you will destroy not only the drum head but also like the sound, the quality of the sound, and will over compress the drum itself. So lots of people ask me about how do you do that? You have a lot of energy, just playing something. It's not the energy itself, it's just the technique itself. It's like, really, I can hit as hard, as hard or as loud as, some folks might do with the whole arm, just by using the fingers or the wrist. Or instead of like doing this, I could do, it's even maybe a little louder. And what I do to get the punch out of which deserves like, or which needs actually to press the stick like on the snare drum, I control the overtone with the rim by pushing the stick just on the rim but taking it off the drum head like this. Okay? The stick will stay with the wood on the rim. So it sounds like this. Just demonstrate it one more time. 2, 3, 4.
And then Dom Famularo and Virgil Donati, they chimed in, and Dom Famularo was like very excited. He goes like, Marco, bless him, he's also an Olympic, right? Him. He goes like, he grabs me on his arm, he goes like, on my arm, he goes like, Marco, this what you do, it's not independence, it's interdependence. And sure enough, Warner Brothers, convinced me by the time to call the book Extreme Interdependence.
And that was Tom's thing?
In the way it really is. Yeah. In the way it really is. But that was Dom's idea. And all I wanted to do with that was just like, doing the things I had inside my head. It was my practice routine. Meanwhile, which is so funny, there are drummers and known drummers out there who kind of claim like, I did the same thing too, and this, even though their stuff were like way later released. Terry and Gary Chester were like the first. Then it was maybe me, and some other guys like Virgil Donati, obviously, Mike Mangini. And then many people started doing it, and I'm actually very proud, to be part of the journey. I guess I did something that helped develop this kind of concept, and I even won a Telly Award for that. Literally like a Grammy, like a Telly Award for my services for music, which I'm very humbled by. I really was just kind of doing what I had inside my head. I wasn't even planning on releasing it. It was really then Warner Brothers and the guys seeing that at the drum fest that I played, like, what the hell are you doing? You need to release this, So that was really
that's a great story, because it didn't come out from, I just want to play all these chops. There was a reason for everything. There was a reason for where these cymbals are set up, and this is how my setup. Only it's not because it's set up like this. There's a reason for why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
and the melodic stuff with the.
But I have to say, without Terry, the world on that direction would also be different, right? I think he really kind of did the groundwork and opened the doors to then, for people like me as a youngster by the time, to go like, wow, that's cool. And then you go like, what else can I do? Maybe I could extend something and build on top of this kind of thing, or do a different direction. And that's all I really wanted to do. I kind of wanted to just compose music with it and do something useful, And then after that, some players came along and took it almost to like, oh, this is a sport, and hey, hang on, what are we doing? It's like, dude, you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong. Listen to Terry, listen to the guys, and maybe even my humble first EPD or something. And I would do things differently now, but the reason why I was doing it was purely to create music with it and not like something.
It's so important for drummers and other musicians to learn other instruments, because now when you play with other players, you think of how they're playing and with the emotion that they're putting behind their instrument. You want to probably compliment them and not
exactly.
Yeah, and that's when I started at Berklee School of Music. For my dad says, you should go to music school and learn. And then I learned arranging and harmony and different instruments and vibes and all these different things.
Wonderful, because you sing also. Right?
And everything.
You have see, and that's, I think, when I saw you play at the show that I saw you recently, that was really wonderful, because I could immediately tell, oh, this man has ears, And I love to do that because I'm a guitar player and still on my albums, I play most of the instruments. So when I play drums, I always think about does it complement the guitar riff or the kind of thing that I have? And where is my spot where I can shine as a drummer? And when I play guitar later to it, I also wait for the right moment where I ease out on the drums and then I can speed up. And a lot of people get that backwards sometimes.
That only comes from experience and just knowing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And there's so much stuff I want to know about. We're gonna. So you play keyboards, guitar, and drums. Do you play bass? You play some bass.
I can't do anything else in life. I can't cook you a proper meal, but maybe I'm good for something. I don't know.
I think I saw on the internet it was a. Oh, I wrote down the songs too. That's so cool.
Okay.
You were doing a video and you were playing all of the instruments. So they.
Yeah.
What was the one when you were in the orange suit? Were you?
Oh, that was just Paul Gilbert.
Paul Gilbert.
Orange suit.
Okay.
That was the Paul Gilbert.
Okay.
That was like on the record you're referring to is the Spaceship One record. We did one before, and we did also live DVD. But Spaceship One, that was the one where we were wearing astronaut suits.
You remember the A album? They all had that space.
That's
the
true.
white.
That's true.
And then live, they played like that too.
Oh, they did?
I was doing a gig with this band, and then we have Martin Barr coming in to play.
Oh.
He wants to. It was like a wedding or something. He with his girlfriend, his wife. He said, "Yeah, okay." We started jamming with us and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, such a nice guy too.
Yeah.
He was with Jethro Tull for how many years?
He was in Jethro Tull for many, many years, up until maybe 10 years ago or so. And recently, and this is a thing I would have loved to do, because Martin reached to me out as well, and I know Martin for many years now, also even and the guys, and we go way back now. But Martin asked me if I would like to do a tour with him, and I reached out to Dawn, and I said, like, shall we do a double drum thing? Maybe we could kind of do that together and share some songs and play some together. And Dawn was up for that. Martin was very much up for that.
Huh?
And then again, it was like a touring conflict thing because Aristocrats were on tour at the same time as Martin had his tour scheduled. And Dawn wants to stay more home now. He doesn't really want to travel so much.
Yeah.
So it was all with love and dedication, but that never really kind of happened.
Yeah, schedules do that.
But, I would, you know what? Now that I'm sitting here, I'm going to say that Martin, if you're out there hearing this, he'll do it. I told him, but I want to play No Lullaby. Can you do this? Because, we play it. That's a great song from Heavy Horses. I love that song. Oh, my God. Took me right back to my childhood.
Yeah. This is the Ronnie Ciago Show, and we'll be right back.
Take your brand national with Rockefellas TV and AMG Outdoor Advertising. It's easier than you think. Join the thousands of advertisers who have built their businesses reaching America's most influential audiences. Be creative. We can help. Rockefellas TV and AMG Outdoor Advertising starts here. Advertise with us today.
Time to get your rock on with Rockefellas TV. You can now watch Rockefellas TV on any smart TV and smart devices. Rockefellas TV is now on Apple and even Apple TV, Android and Google Play stores, Samsung Smart TV and even LG TV, Roku TVs and devices, Amazon App Store, Fire Stick and even Amazon TVs, Google TV and all smart TVs. Simply go to your smart device app store and download Rockefellas TV. For further information about Rockefellas TV and smart device apps, please go to rtvapp.com or rockefellastv.com. Rockefellas TV. Get your rock on.
drum magazines.
Yeah.
Look at Modern Drummer. I kind of grew up with Modern Drummer, right? So it's been around forever. And you're on the cover of Modern Drummer, and that was in 2007.
That's an honor.
You look cool.
That's cool.
And then the cover of Drumhead magazine, 2009.
Yeah.
Rhythm and Drums with Mike Mangini,
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
2010.
Yeah. True.
Drummer magazine, 2014.
Especially with Mike Mangini, that was when we were both playing with the band UK, with Eddie Jobson and John Wetton. I don't think John Wetton is on that tour because I was the drummer for UK with Eddie Jobson for almost 10 years, and we're going to go out next year.
Wait, you were drumming in UK
I was the drummer in the UK
for 10 years.
for 10 years because Eddie went into hiatus for quite some time because UK was originally formed with Drew and Alan Holtzman
Right.
in 78. And then Eddie played first of all with Rockefellas, then with Samba, then with Tal, and then he formed UK. Actually, after UK, he went to Tal.
And John Wetton, right?
John Wetton.
The best way.
And then he kind of disappeared. And then he contacted me, and I think I was the first one he contacted to make a reunion. And he goes like, "Hi, Eddie Jobson here." All of a sudden, I made a bots. It was in around like 2008, or maybe earlier. And I know what you do. I love what you do. And I was like, holy shit, would you like to kind of even about the reviving UK again, giving it a different name? They call it UKZ then. And going out on the road. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm a huge fan. You know, I know your albums, you know, because my father has all your albums and stuff. And he goes like, well, thank you. That makes me feel old. And you laughed it off. But so I went to his house and he started playing all the Roxy Music song on the piano, and his son, Christopher, and then his wife, Rachel, they were there, and they were so happy to see Eddie play because he never really played again. And he said like, man, it's the first time I played really piano again and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I became part of his journey to get him out of retirement, so to speak.
Right.
And then we toured for, I don't know if it was exactly 10 years, but it was a good amount of years. And we had on 2 occasions for tours, 2 drummers. And one we did with Mike Mangini together. And then one leg you did with Simon Phillips together. That was fantastic. And then I did the other tour with him, the last tour, I guess, he did before he went to retirement. I'm not sure if I did the last one with that because there were many people going in and out there because by that time the Aristocrats got fairly famous. And so that's where we concentrated on that player. But just a few weeks ago, he contacted me and goes like, hey, I stopped playing for 6 or 7 years. Would you like to do this with me again for next year? Cruise to the Edge and then Japan shows again. So we're going to go to Japan and then it's going to be the Cruise to the Edge. So we're going out again. Hopefully, if that's gigs are confirmed, you never know what happens.
Yeah, some crazy stuff.
How did we get there? Eddie Jobson.
Yeah, and then Eddie, we'll talk about Jets Hotel again.
Right, that was the thing.
The A tour. And he was like right up front playing the violin. And then he did some synthesizer stuff too. But yeah, that's where I first, he was with Roxy Music, I think before that.
Yeah, he was with Roxy Music after Brian Eno. And then he left that for Zappa, I suppose, in 76. So the last one he did with Roxy Music.
That's right. He was did that with Bosio. Terry.
He did. He was the guy playing on the Black Page.
What was that called again?
Live in New York. Yeah. That's where you have like literally a very great lineup of people, of a lot of people I played with. There would be Adrian Ballou because I played with Adrian quite a few tours. Mm-hmm. Then with Terry Bozzio and Eddie Jobson. Patrick O'Hearn is in that band as well. And Ray White. Zappa was a big influence, so I sometimes play with all the musicians from the Zappa band. And we pick the hardest songs and learn them and play them.
Well, when I first came out from Florida to move to LA, I kept in touch with Ralph Humphrey.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to need a gig as soon as I get here. So I wanted to teach at the drum, what's it called then, back in the...
Oh, that's Lama, right?
No, it was called the drum, MI.
Yeah.
It was MI.
Oh, that's right. He was at MI.
Yeah.
I thought he was at Lama in Pasadena.
Right, that was later. So it was MI, so I wanted to teach there. I said, yeah. but it never happened. But he kind of said he would hook me up, But Ralph,
Another one.
he did all the Zappa records. Those great Zappa
Yeah,
records.
he did. He was on Overnight. Overnight. Yes, he was an Overnight Sensation. And
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
Crazy records. Well, let's get back to Marco. There's so much to ask, but 24 Tales with Alex.
Yeah, Alex. You know Alex Maracek as well.
I do know him. Because Doug was in the band with them as well.
That's
Doug
right.
Hart.
He was with Terry Bozzio together.
That's right, the three of them. I saw them at the NAMM show together. There's three of them, just chaos.
Yeah, that was it was like free improvising or something, wasn't it?
It was great. And they were all, Doug was like right in tune with what was going on, But that's why I first met Alex.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right. He
feel-
played in the UK reunion as well. Yeah, so I was with Alex in the band with Eddie when we went out on tour for the first time. Then we had other guitar players like Greg Howell, for example. Billy Sheehan as a bass player was in the band. Tony Levin was in the band. And then obviously John Wetton. We did a bunch of trio gigs, literally. Was it trio? No, we had a guitar player already, but I did a bunch of years of touring with John Wetton in UK with Eddie Johnson together.
Is he a wonderful guy or what?
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
When some of the stuff with Circa, Billy Sherwood did as his last solo record. And it was, and John came to a studio up in the valley up there. Yeah. And I heard the whole thing right from the beginning to where it was going. He goes, now John needs a band, and I think he's going to use us to be his band. The Circa, the band, the Circa. Yes. But he got sick and then passed away.
That went pretty quickly. It was actually really, really sad in a way because, well, of course it was sad, but because when I met him, he was in absolutely great shape and he was not making no secret about it that he had like major alcohol problems in the past. So he was telling me about these things, how he kind of dealt with it and how he became sober. And then, he was sober and he kind of was religious about going to meetings and also not having the fridge in the hotel room and no temptation about it. He was okay if we would drink around him, but, but no open containers of alcohol around it and stuff. And so he really opened up to me and about the whole story and about the history of music as well. But so, yeah, there he was. Sober John Wetton in great spirits, and then he became a vegan at some point. Oh, wow. She told me it's like he was going to Munich with one of his sons or something. He lives in Munich, and he went out there to Oktoberfest, and it was only pork he saw. It's like, well, there's pork shoulder, pork this, pork leg, and he guys like, and they say, what do you want? He goes like, oh, I guess I have the pork then. So he goes, for some reason, it's put the switch in his head. He goes like, I want to try to become a vegan, and so the last two he didn't really eat any meat anymore. And he says to me, he goes like, yeah, see, I'm sober. I don't really eat that kind of stuff anymore. There's not many pleasures I have left in my life because I'm getting older. But he was such a great guy. And then all of a sudden I heard he got sick. And it went fast like that. All of a sudden I saw some pictures and I almost didn't recognize him anymore. And then he was gone. It went in months.
In a way, it's a blessing because you didn't have to be sick for 10 years and all that. So what do you have coming up?
What do I have coming up? This is good. Now I came prepared because, before we started this, Alex Garcia, the man behind the whole scenes, without him, we wouldn't be as
You out.
He told me, bring your newest release, advertise your stuff. And I'm usually kind of very, you need to kind of go out and advertise your stuff. And I'm always very pen up. I know, I just want to play in fun. But he's right. And I had a CD in my car, which is the new McStein and Minnerman album. It's our third album, Randy McStein, who also plays with Steven Wilson, I play with, and Porcupine Tree. And he's a lovely musician, and we started this project about 4 or 5 years ago. And we're both multi-instrumentalists and writers. And so we have a little songwriters round on these CDs. And I guess this one came out very well. Alex Leibson is also, was Alex Leibson in this CD? No, he's on the last one. But it doesn't matter. They're all good.
And Marco, where would they find that? How would they get it?
You go to Bandcamp. Go to Bandcamp. Also for my solo stuff, because we live in wonderful days where we can meanwhile record our music at home and don't need really record labels anymore. And especially with Bandcamp, the concept I'm doing meanwhile, because of the short attention span of the people of you, right? They look, you listen sometimes to one song and you move on. So I did an experiment with my newest album, which is technically already out there in public. And you can see each song with a different album cover. And I release this on a monthly basis, every month a song. And later on, I kind of write 4 more that are not about symphonic. Then I kind of, master them or remix maybe a little bit of it and put it out as a physical release. But you can go to my Bandcamp, marcominnemann1.com or bandcamp.com. And then there's also Randy McStein, Marco Minnemann, so McStein and Minnerman at Bandcamp. Well, I guess that's a those are both them.
So I told, I've been doing a couple of podcasts with Dan Shidner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Steven. Yeah. So I did the Yes Shift and the Jump Talk TV. So I did 2 of those already, and they came out really good. But Steven said he wanted you to get a hold of him because they wanted to talk to you about a release.
Yes.
I don't know if it's that one.
Right, it's that one. We did an interview with them, and there's a thing, while both of us are separately on tour, he's already kind of reaching out and going he needs to collect some info or something like that.
Yeah, so do give him a call.
I should.
Why should you?
Exactly. It's good. See, that's how far this whole contact reaches.
It's such a small world. So, what are these your sticks?
These are my sticks. These are my signature sticks.
So, talk about that.
In a very rare edition. So these ones usually are not available, which is actually for the best, I think, because there's a reason for that. They're great, actually. But my signature sticks are exactly these, but just with plain lacquer. This is an experiment here I just did for one of the Joe Satriani tours. And I played on that tour the ones with the they call it active grip. And so they feel very good. And so they made me a few boxes of the exactly the same stick. I do like the playing a little better because the active grip has a great feel and everything to it. But it also is very rubbery. So when you play, especially with Joe or heavier stuff, and you play a show for 2 hours or 2.5 hours, it sucks basically all the moisture out of your hands. And then you become right. And I never really had the instrument fans. Yeah, but so that shit, and I never really had it or have it with any normal wooden sticks or with lacquer, but these ones here, and I'm saying that only if you play, obviously, a 2-hour show or something, you play heavy, then these did that, but the sticks themselves, I think if you break, so they're, otherwise I would never release them, right?
And that's ProMark?
It's ProMark,
okay.
Yeah. It took me over a year to design the shape and the feel and the weight, as the weight, or you don't want them to be, too tip heavy, because if it's too tip heavy, it feels like this, and they just bounce. If it's too much to the front, it just doesn't come down. So I wanted to have a the balance point where you go like, learn that, and then I kind of started balancing the stick out, Also, the tip is I love really round tips because they sound very crisp on the right side.
That's true.
But they destroy drum heads when they are too round. So the thing is, like, I kind of flattened them ever so slightly towards the end, so they still sound very, defined on the rights and the hi-hats, but they are also gentle to the drum heads. So it sounds easy when I explain it, and it only took me a minute to do so, but believe me, that was a labor of love and took a year or more, maybe even, to really get them back perfectly, because you get like a bunch of badges, and you get like, the weight numbers, and then you kind of go like, almost, and every time it's a procedure that lasts another 1 or 2 months.
Did you go to the company to do that, or just they send it?
They send it. Well, I went to the company. I did go to Daddario, and where Promark is, and Evans as well. So it's good that I have everything under one umbrella, so to speak. But that was quite.
So let me see these are the
What is this?
Steve Gadd sticks.
Oh, those are the Steve Gadd ones?
Yeah. So
Did he redesign those?
same size. Okay. Same.
Yeah, it's
Right.
16-inch, I think.
So
right?
you can see the weight. It's a little thicker.
That's the Steve Gadd one?
Yeah.
I thought they were like, didn't Steve had at some point have also round tips, or does he have 2 models?
These feel really good. What kind of wood is this?
It's hickory.
Hickory.
Yeah. I like Steve's as well. And it's actually, you know what? They're surprisingly close in there, huh? Okay.
Wow.
They're surprisingly close.
Yeah.
The tip is very different. And the end,
Just
feels
thicker.
both good. I feel immediately comfortable with that stick. Actually, I have to say. Yeah. Ah. Usually with that carpet, check this out.
Yeah, I want to be able to someday when I grow up, I want to be able to do that.
Sounds great, man. That's fantastic, huh?
Marco, thank you for doing this show with me.
Thank you. This is so much fun.
Yes. Well, we're gonna continue, and
We must.
we're gonna have our own show.
It would be cool.
I heard that one day we're gonna have our own show together.
You know, exactly. Checks in the mail, huh? For us.
Yeah.
I love it.
So let's get together soon again, and I want to go up to talk to John.
Yeah.
And,
We should kind of go to the W, maybe film a little bit over there, you know?
yeah, that'll be great.
And then later on, I want to ask you more questions, because I would like to know about you and Bill Ward and all these things.
Well, I'm talking
Classic.
at least 20 years, maybe longer.
Legend. They're doing their last show now.
And
Right? Final show.
that must have been, this is my Gretsch kit, but that must have been, I don't know, I think it was 34 or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's the guy who played Warpix
Yeah.
and Symptom of the Universe. Ooh, cool stuff. Did some cool shit on that one. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, with the prog, Black Sabbath was progressive rock
In a way.
in 1970, because I remember I was just a kid and I had the first Black Sabbath record,
Yeah.
and they were playing this jazz stuff. I'm like, "Dad's a jazz musician," so I'd play this to him and said, "Dad, is that jazz?" Because we had a cassette player or an 8-track in the car,
Yeah.
and we'd be playing. He goes, "Yeah, it's kind of like jazz."
Yeah. A lot of the Black
swing.
Sabbath stuff was like, very jammy and very jazzy. Especially on the last albums, on the later albums with Bill, there is like this one song, I forgot what it's called, almost like a big band-like tune. And then there's like Air Dance, where they really going, almost like a bebop kind of feel. And Tony Iommi is playing his ass off, as well. Like guitar solos, I played this to Guthrie, my guitar player, and the Aristocrats. And I said like, we had all the band was there. Brian Guthrie, our manager, Riccardo Capelli from Italy, and I played exactly that too. And I said like, "Hey guys, what is this?" "Oh, I don't know. It sounds like Is it some Zappa? Is there some Santana? Or is it like, dude, it's Black Sabbath. What? Amazing.
Yeah. Well, you want to show me some double bass drum stuff?
Oh, sure.
What's your last minute?
Yeah, we should jam together anyways. You know,
Show them, our fans all the stuff I showed you how to play.
Hello there, Marco Minnemann here. I'm sitting here on the house kit. It's not my kit, you know, so I'm gonna make something work on it, but it's fun. So we were talking with the amazing Ronnie Ciago at his show about our drum approaches, and one thing that came up that I was asked about was working with Indian musicians and playing in India, and the different approaches and the way of counting. So obviously the numbers are the same. The approach is kind of different, putting it into syllables versus like, you know, the Western European way. Well, I was born in Germany, wasn't I? So of counting. But I kind of have a similar way of the approach, just with different syllables. So for example, a lot of the stuff I would do with Mohini Day are like 5s, 7s, 9 groupings. And so in my drum solo, I started to play at some point all the 3 things together, 5s, 9s over 7s. People kind of seem to really kind of dig it, and it gets like always like a cool response, and people ask me about the approach about it, so I would like to kind of give a little bit of insight how I came up with it. And once again, I'd like to keep it as musical as possible, like just to kind of, you know, instead of making it sound like an exercise, try to make it sound beautiful. So 5/16 I wouldn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would kind of subdivide it into 2 and then count an additional 16th note. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. So if I can talk over it, then my brain is free to execute the next level or the next pattern, which would be a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 7 would be. So if I can talk over it, then I can automatically kind of loop this pattern, not think about it, forget about it while I'm playing, and then try to execute both of these elements together. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So they fall into place. This is how I kind of train my brain to kind of hold on to, kind of sort of follow the groove of the both of them in the whole, and then count the remainders of when they fall into place again. So here we go, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now this sounds more like an exercise. Now I want to kind of play it in a little more musical context. So I would kind of, since it's like 2 hits within a 5/16, I would sort of transform it, or convert it to 2 instruments. So instead of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, board play the 7 groupings. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Why not playing it on 3 tones? Aha, that's sort of starts to become a composition. So let's put these 2 together. All of a sudden, you can hear music happen, I suppose. Now, here's the thing. When I started playing that at first, it was already in the 90s, I suppose, with Karuna Murthy, a great tabla player from India. He said like, oh man, this is so cool, you know, that you do these things. Never heard that before. That's amazing. I was like, well, no, we've got to take this from you guys and also just from counting the stuff I hear in my music when I write them. He goes like, you know, when I play 5s and 7s, we in India play a lot of times a second accent. So instead of they put like a 16th behind. I thought that was very inspiring. I thought like all of a sudden the pattern, even though it's the same number, feels completely different. So I decided to kind of play you now the Indian version, so to speak, on the drum set. So here's the first one again. here comes the India weather attack. And so the 5/16 pattern would sound 7/16 would become. So let's see if I can actually play this both together. Okay, here we go. So I think that starts to get like a really becoming like a musical context. So now, because I want to punish myself a little bit, I kind of, try to put like a 9/16 on top of it. And again, I'm not doing this to kind of figure like, hey, look where you can take this. I think it's really musically beautiful and rich. You can use this as a kind of, composition tool. And so if I would kind of count 9/16, that would be an extension of the 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, but let become the liberty. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And for the remaining gaps, basically, I use the higher to fill them. So the 9/16 would sound like this. So, and then over the pattern, once you feel comfortable, first of all, I start improvising over the pattern just to kind of feel comfortable with the pulse that I have here, and then kind of loop the pen. So let's see if I can do this. Alright, so I guess I feel kind of comfortable improvising around that 9/16 pattern. Then why not, step by step, incorporating the 5/16 over here, and then with the right hand, the 7/16. Therefore, since I don't have the hi-hat available anymore, because I'm playing with my foot now, not my left foot, I'm gonna convert the 5/16 between this trash cymbal and snare bar. And the 7/16 around there. Here we go. Off speed. What? And so there you go. That is like, my approach to the Indian / Western European friendship. What combination.
Thanks for watching the Ronnie Ciago Show, and I'll see you next week.
Take your brand national with Rockefellas TV and AMG Outdoor Advertising. It's easier than you think. Join the thousands of advertisers who have built their businesses reaching America's most influential audiences. Be creative. We can help. Rockefellas TV and AMG Outdoor Advertising starts here. Advertise with us today.